We're now in video 2 of section 6, which is called Enhancing the Search UI. In our previous video, we learned how to create complex SQL statements in order to allow our monsters to come one step closer to finding true love. Now, we're going to learn how to jazz up our Search UI. We'll use the Type Ahead widget in order to provide pertinent suggestions when searching for a user by name. First, we'll learn how to install the widget using Composer. Then, we'll learn how to output widget code using the Active Field class. Finally, we'll learn how to configure advanced options to spice up our search field. Let's start off by installing the Type Ahead widget, which is simply a package that wraps the HTML and JavaScript for the Twitter TypeAhead.js plugin and allows us to configure and generate that code using PHP methods. Rather than using the require command of Composer, let's explore an alternate way of installing packages. Open up composer.json from the root of your application and add the name of your package to the require section. The package name is cardic-v/e2-widget-typeahead. We'll let Composer decide which version to install. Save the file, and then type Composer update on the command line. Now that we have the package installed, we're going to replace the current name text field on our search form with the new widget. Add a use statement in the opening PHP block of the form. The package we installed actually includes two classes, TypeAhead and TypeAhead Basic. We'll use the latter. We've seen other widgets throughout our course, and usually they are invoked by calling the widget method directly from the parent class. However, because this widget will be tied to an active record attribute, we'll use the widget method of the Active Field class. The first parameter is the name of the class of your widget, so we'll let the class name method of the TypeAhead Basic class do the heavy lifting for us. The second parameter is an array of options, which we'll use to configure our widget. For now, we need to worry about a single option, which is called data. The data setting is an array of suggestions that the TypeAhead will use to provide options once our users start typing in the name field. Because we're searching for monster names, we'll naturally want to provide a list of all of the names in our database as our suggestions. Once again, we're going to call on the array helper to help us quickly build an array of all of the usernames in our system. We've already included the array helper in the previous video, but we'll need to add a use statement for the monster class in order to create our list. In the past, we've used map method of the array helper class in order to generate arrays made up of index value pairs. This time, though, the data parameter only takes a one-dimensional array, so we're going to use the getColumn method instead. The first parameter is an array or an array of objects. We'll use the findAll method of the monster class in order to retrieve all of our monsters. The second parameter is the name of the attribute to populate our array with. In this case, it's obviously name. Now, go back down to your widget call and add your monster name array to the data option. Save the file and go back to the monster list page. Start typing in the full name search box, and you'll see that we start to see suggestions that match the characters we type. Not bad, but wouldn't it be neat if we could actually let our users know that this functionality existed? Add another option parameter called options, with the key placeholder and the value of begin typing to see suggestions. Switch back to the form, and you'll see that this message shows up in the box until you start typing. Next, add another option called plugin options. Set it equal to an array with an index of highlight and a value of true. Save the file again and switch back to the search form. When you start typing this time, you'll see the letters that match your search query are bolded in order to stand out. The bold highlight is nice, but because monsters aren't known as the most observant demographic, let's make the highlight standing out a bit more. Open up site.css and add a rule for the tt-highlight class. Set the background color property equal to yellow. Now, you'll see that your search term is highlighted in a much more obvious way. Hopefully even Frankenstein won't have to squint to see that. We learned to install and use the Type Ahead widget in this video in order to make our search form a bit more user-friendly. Up next, we'll learn how to make our monster list page resemble a real dating site, as well as learn how to sort and paginate our results.